Now, lastly for this week,
What in the world? Jesus.
so this is just bizarre. Buckle up, everybody, as everyone's favorite hillbilly weirdo, Rob Zombie, is tackling a Munsters reboot, which supposedly, I think this is going straight to Peacock, because I think it got acquired by, like, the Peacock division. It hasn't been clearly stated, but it sounds a lot like it's going to Peacock. Oh boy. Supposedly, also, Rob Zombie has wanted to do this for a very long time. Like, he's grown up being a Munsters fan. Oh boy. I 80 to 90% hate this with every fiber in my being. I know Josh is probably expecting me to just Russell Crowe Robin Hood rage on this, and I did when it was first announced. And most of the time, I still hate this. Because I think this is a mismatch made in heaven in the worst possible way. But there's a little thing that gives me a little bit of hope from an unlikely source. A movie called The House with a Clock in Its Walls. Why do I bring that up? Because that was directed by torture porn director Eli Roth. If Eli Roth can get out of his hostile and cabin fever ways to deliver a family-friendly introduction to the world of horror and Halloween-themed movies, it's not totally unheard of for Rob Zombie to do the same. It depends on what Universal is asking of him. Did they sign off on this saying, yes, you have carte blanche on this, you can do whatever? Or is it a Rob Zombie's take on a family version of the Munsters that can be PG, but still kind of like a monster house of family version? Is Rob Zombie going to get out of his comfort zone here? Or is he going to live where he knows? I highly doubt he will. But if The House with a Clock in Its Walls had not come out, I'd be completely hating on this.
That's fair.
I think directors can leave their sphere of influence. Martin Scorsese did Hugo, and it's probably still my favorite movie he's ever done, even more so than The Departed or Shutter Island or whatever else. Like, he got out of his bubble. I think it comes down to, is Rob Zombie willing to get out of his personal bubble, or is this just going to be, I've had this Munsters fan fiction in the back for a while, and I finally get to do it?
But see, like, as someone who has watched the Munsters as
Oh,
well
same.
since I was a kid, I think, like, the Munsters isn't one of those shows that you admit that you've watched your whole life, unless
Oh,
you
hell no.
absolutely.
I
Will
would
you let
definitely
me
admit it.
finish? Let me finish. Let me finish. Unless you have, like, an absolute love to the point of, I like this more than Adam's Family kind of love. You know what I mean?
No,
I Yes, no.
I will stand on my soapbox and say I always watched the Munsters over the Addams Family.
That's what I'm saying.
I was more of a Munsters person than Addams Family. I watched them both because TV Land, what's up? TV Land was like my most watched channel as a kid. Andy Griffith, I Love Lucy, Green Acres. I love both, but I lean more towards the Munsters.
Yeah, but
So
that's what I'm saying. That's not somebody doesn't admit in public that they're a Munsters fan unless they legitimately, absolutely have a huge love for the Munsters. And to me, maybe this is me looking for a silver lining, but for Rob Zombie to say that he's been a big fan since he was a kid, to me that means they're gonna at the very least do a PG-13. I wouldn't be surprised if it was more PG, but I think the other question is this going to be animated or is this going to be live action? So, I mean, who knows? There could be a lot of firsts for Rob.
I kind of hope it's not animated because we saw what happened with that Addams Family movie. I never saw that one, but it didn't feel right. It could have been the animation style, but overall, that and Addams Family just didn't do it for me. I do worry already just because I've seen enough Rob Zombie movies to go, okay, so what character is his wife going to be playing? Like,
yeah, unfortunately.
is it just going to be the cat? Like, that's already okay, I'm already kind of guessing. Like, is she going to be the mom here? Is she going to be whoever else? It's also just like he works with the same actors over and over again. Is Bill Moseley going to be Herman? Is he going to be the uncle? If he was still alive, rest in peace, Sid Haig. But if Sid Haig was still alive, he'd be playing the uncle. Scout Taylor Compton from the original Halloween might be playing the older sister. I don't like the sound of a lot of this. But
I think the good takeaway from this, though, is Rob is not afraid to cast who he thinks would be best. He's not afraid to do older actors. He's not afraid to do lesser known actors. So to me, I'm going to put that up in the pros category.
That's fair.
Yeah, because if anything, he knows what he's looking for and will cast the people for those roles that he sees, and no production company is going to tell him any different.
Yeah, there's not a single Rob Zombie movie I like. I'll be perfectly honest. The closest that I will get is I can watch his first Halloween movie. It's not great, and I want to tear my ears off when I hear the "I'm not listening" when Michael is messing with the bird in the kitchen in the bathroom sink. It's just, but I don't like his movies. I don't like his style. So I'm putting this down as a negative. However, not 100% of a negative. If some directors have gone in completely new directions and reinvented themselves, I would be willing to give Rob Zombie a chance here, especially because it is something he cares so deeply about. If this was some other franchise, like if Universal came to him and said, "Hey, we think you'd be great for Munsters," then I'd be much more cautious. But the fact that he's been fighting and dogging this for over a year now to get this project means, okay, yeah, he probably cares deeply about this.
Yeah, no, I agree, and see, like that's the thing too. That I could name on maybe one or two fingers some Rob Zombie films I like. Everyone loves House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and I don't know, man. I mean, I watch, what is it, 61, like 31, whatever, like once a year, just because I do like it. It's cool, but it's not something I can watch all the time. And I think that's the thing about his films is it's not that they're not rewatchable. It's that
they're not pleasant.
It's an experience, and if anything, you can credit Rob for that. Like his movies are an experience.
Yes.